Awareness can relieve negative emotions and deepen positive ones. This shows whether something is good or bad for you. Real emotions, whether positive or negative, can positively transform you. In authenticity, labels of good and bad disappear. Emotion is pure, sentimentality is manipulative. Crying can be cathartic but isn't spiritual. Emotions are mental and physical. Repression causes illness and conflict. It means living inauthentically. Expression leads to health and life. Society teaches control, not transformation. Repression splits the mind and poisons the body. Don't throw anger onto others. Find healthy outlets like exercise to express it. Reaction comes from emotion, response comes from freedom. Emotions blind like alcohol and prevent integration. Anger provides relief if expressed. Those who never show anger can be dangerous. Live fully and slip out of problems to avoid needing solutions and new situations. Movement releases trapped energy. Sensitivity increases with awareness and self-knowledge. Control dulls sensitivity and life. The mind can play at being silent. But true inner stillness comes through experiencing and understanding one's emotions, not suppressing them. Anger arises from frustrated desire and ego. Please go into the experience of anger, understand its source and dynamics, and see how it harms you. This understanding can transform anger into compassion. People are often chronically angry due to lifetimes of suppressing anger. This poisons all of life. Watch how people express anger simply by eating or making love. Even positive actions get distorted by underlying anger. Releasing anger spontaneously, like a child, is beautiful and does not harm. But for adults, private expression is better than public. Go inward, feel the anger arise and spend itself. This releases its grip. Condemnation of natural phenomena like anger or sex makes them ugly and destructive. Accepting and transforming them makes them divine. Compassion arises from anger transformed, love from sex transformed. Repressing emotions creates a false impression of peace. True nonviolence comes from facing one's inner volcano, not denying it. Understanding, feeling, and releasing anger in private is how to loosen its hold, not repressing or throwing it at others. Go inward to find the source of irritation in ego and desire. At your center, there is only peace. That covers the main points on understanding and transforming anger according to these teachings. Let me know if you want me to clarify or expand on any summary part. Summary. Anger should not be repressed or swallowed. It needs to be expressed fully and acted upon. Half-hearted or lukewarm anger needs to be more effective and decisive. Pure, total offense can be beautiful and compassionate. Anger and sadness are two sides of the same coin. One can transcend them by allowing them to arise equally and cancel each other out. Then one can slip out of them and witness them impartially. One should accept and befriend whatever emotions arise, including sadness. Sadness has depth and reveals truths that happiness does not. Darkness is as divine as light. Non-attachment is most profound when one lives in the world, not away from it. Living in complexity reveals the highest wisdom. We project our psychological tapes onto others. We see in them what is within us. There is nothing inherently right or wrong. Emotions like anger are simply energy. If witnessed impartially, they transform into compassion and love. Repression creates disease and suffering. Awareness is the solution, not judgment. Following moral rules and the prescriptions of priests or politicians breeds guilt, worthlessness, and loss of freedom. One should accept oneself as one is rather than seek flaws and deficiencies. Awareness and understanding are crucial to overcoming negative tendencies like anger, greed, and jealousy. Being aware of these tendencies as they arise can reduce their impact and frequency. Try to understand the root causes of these tendencies instead of just labeling them as bad. Look into the trends to know where they come from, how they function, and how they overtake you. Understanding them sincerely can help erase them. Do not accept what society tells you about these tendencies blindly. Look within yourself and try to understand them directly through your own experience. Do not see yourself through the eyes of others. Anger often arises from fear. People get angry at you because they are afraid of you somehow. Their anger is an attempt to hide their fear from themselves and you. Jealousy comes from comparison. We are conditioned to compare ourselves to others, which breeds jealousy constantly. But each person is unique and incomparable. Drop comparison and jealousy will disappear. Sex itself does not necessarily create jealousy. Jealousy arises when there is no love, physical attraction, and possessiveness. Love brings security and trust, which eliminates jealousy. Society uses devices like jealousy to exploit individuals by keeping them in constant comparison and competition. But one can break free of these societal control mechanisms by closely observing tendencies like jealousy without judgment. Observation reveals the truth and brings freedom. Jealousy arises from ignorance, possessiveness, and fear. It destroys love and relationships. Jealousy is a symptom that shows love is lacking. Rather than fighting jealousy directly, focus on cultivating love. Love is the antidote to jealousy. Live in the present moment. Don't worry about the future. If you delight in the present moment with your loved one, jealousy will fade away. Make love a total, intense experience. Hold nothing back. This will burn away jealousy. Jealousy is part of possessiveness, not love. Love means freedom, not possession. Jealousy is like a rock that crushes love. Destroy jealousy and you will experience beautiful, unconditional love. The story of Adam and Eve shows even God can be jealous. But as a concept, God is created by humans, so this reflects human jealousy. In summary, become transparent in your love, focus on the present moment, and make love a total experience. Jealousy will then drop away on its own. You have to stop feeding it with your ignorance and fear. Love, true love, is the antidote. Jealousy arises from a perceived lack within yourself compared to others who seem to have more. Being the best in everything is impossible, so jealousy is sometimes inevitable. However, you can learn from the experience and gain insight into overcoming jealousy. Fear is the primary underlying emotion behind most other emotions. The root fear is losing yourself in death, love, or situations where your sense of self feels threatened. Those who know themselves are less fearful. Fear prevents one from fully living and embracing life. It is better to drop fear and live fully. Fear can be healthy and help ensure survival, as with fear of fire or oncoming traffic. However, anxiety becomes unhealthy when no real threat exists, just perceived threats with no basis. Abnormal fear inhibits living. It is best to understand the roots of your fears to overcome them. All emotions like fear, anger, jealousy, and hate to sap your energy and life. It is best to become aware of these emotions and not indulge or act on them. The fear of death is more accurately the fear of dying unfulfilled, without having lived or grown as a person. By understanding your fears and living fully, you can overcome this. Loneliness is feared because most people rely on groups and society to give them a sense of self, which is false. This false self starts to crumble when alone, creating fear and anxiety. The night of the soul refers to the period between losing the false self and gaining knowledge of your true self. Meditation helps shorten this period. Your false sense of self was created by societal conditioning from a young age by those who cared for you but were unaware of themselves. Their good intentions had unintended consequences. Overcoming the fear of being alone means rediscovering your true self through silence, meditation, and avoiding reactivity. The false self needs external validation and crowds to exist. When alone, you start to freak out without the false self. Meditation helps destroy the false self. It does not give you the authentic self, it removes what is not the real self. The authentic self is already there. Meditation takes courage to be silent and alone. Fear arises from identification with the false self. All fears stem from the fear of death, the fear of disappearing. We seek security and permanence to avoid suspicion. Fear can only be overcome by understanding and awareness, not by fighting or avoiding it. Looking directly at your fears causes them to melt away. Accepting fear leads to freedom, denying fear leads to guilt. We have exaggerated and avoided our fears rather than facing them. Facing them causes them to become smaller. There is nothing fundamentally to fear. Understanding is the key to transformation. Developing awareness and understanding of your emotions and reactions leads to spontaneous mutation. Condemning and judging them is counterproductive. Meditate by watching your reactions and emotions arise without judgment. See the beauty in them. They are a natural part of you. Understanding them gives you mastery over them. Awareness leads inward. The more aware you are, the more inward you go. Lack of awareness leads outward. An empty heart, free of the false self, is the goal. The authentic self remains. Thoughts and emotions seem close and concurrent, but beyond them lies an empty mind, which is our natural mind. We call this the open heart. The empty heart connects us to eternity and existence. It is beyond the physical and mental. It is our spirituality. Understanding it can transform us. Watching our anger, jealousy, hatred, and lust can help us understand and overcome them. Judging them as bad prevents understanding. Awareness requires no judgment. We follow what others say is good or bad, causing inner conflict and guilt. Joy seems to come from outside, but is within us. Outer situations reveal what's inside. When alone, our anger and other feelings seem absent, but the situations provoking them are missing. They are still within us. We must change ourselves, not just our surroundings. A practical method: note your thoughts and feelings for a week to find your chief characteristic. Knowing your inner enemy gives strength. The lotus symbolizes spiritual transformation, growing from mud into fragrance. Our mud, sex, anger, hate, can become samadhi, compassion, and love. Our noisy mind can become silence. A technique: pillow meditation. Express your anger fully on a pillow. It won't react or retaliate. Be aware as you do it. Suppressing anger mechanically prevents awareness. Expressing it expands understanding. Does this summary accurately reflect the key ideas and techniques for overcoming anger and other negative emotions through understanding and awareness? Let me know if you want me to clarify or expand on any summary part. The key ideas are: 1. Express your emotions entirely rather than repressing them. Repression closes you off and prevents you from experiencing life fully. Catharsis, or emotional release, can be freeing and help you gain awareness and sensitivity. 2. Look for the roots of your emotions. Emotions often evaporate when you examine them closely. They are like clouds without roots. Awareness of their temporary nature can help release their hold on you. 3. Physical activity like running, swimming, or dynamic meditation can help healthily release repressed emotions. Becoming fully absorbed in training helps the mind relax and allows for catharsis. 4. Opposites like effort and effortlessness, activity and inactivity, need to be balanced. Osho's dynamic meditation combines opposites to produce a dialectical effect. The stages move from intense training to deep stillness. 5. Love is warmth and flow. Hate and anger also produce flow, though destructive. Indifference is cold and lifeless. Flowing with emotions, especially love, is vital to overcoming frozenness and releasing jealousy. 6. Directly experiencing jealousy by focusing on it intensely can help release its hold on you. Observe it without judgment and let it burn brightly. This exposure and awareness help evaporate its power. The critical approaches recommended are: 1. Catharsis, full emotional expression. 2. Awareness, closely observing the roots and nature of emotions. 3. Activity, using physical movement to release emotions. 4. Dialectics, balancing opposites like activity/stillness. 5. Love and flow, overcoming indifference and frozenness by flowing with emotion. 6. Direct experience, facing jealousy fully with awareness to release its power. The suggested techniques are: 1. Osho dynamic meditation, alternating activity and stillness. 2. Running, swimming, using activity for catharsis. 3. Focusing on the roots of emotions. 4. Boiling point, intensifying anger without release for awareness. 5. Nourishing the energy of love, feeling love flow for an object, then freely. 6. Facing jealousy, focusing on jealousy intensely without judgment. Jealousy arises from a sense of identity and attachment. Observing it deeply without judgment, the identity starts to break down and one gets an intangible feeling of being a witness. Fear can be transformed by fully allowing its chaotic and intense manifestations like trembling, rolling on the ground, breathing, etc. Visualizing numbers from 3 to 0 before sleep also helps touch deep layers of silence within. Reliving one's childhood by crying, gibberish, play, etc. helps reconnect with that innocence and flower into one's full potential. Being grounded helps overcome the prevalent problem of uprootedness in modern humans. Some techniques for grounding are: shifting one's weight entirely between left and right foot with eyes closed and then finding balance in the center. Walking barefoot on earth or sand. Taking deeper breaths into the sex center. In silence, serenity, and emptiness, an explosion of light, love, and bliss can happen that remains forever. Meditation creates the conditions for this by producing a silent mind, relaxed body, and empty heart. One then waits for the explosion. Osho sees meditation as a way to create a new human being, Zorba the Buddha, who can enjoy life like Zorba the Greek and be silent like Gautam Buddha. His active meditations are designed to release stresses before quiet meditation. Osho's works cover many aspects, from individual meaning to social issues. His books are transcriptions of his talks over 35 years. He is seen as an influential 20th-century spiritual teacher with a revolutionary approach to meditation. The Osho International Meditation Resort provides a place to experience meditation and a new way of living. The Osho Meditation Resort is 100 miles southeast of Mumbai in Pune, India. It offers mindfulness and wellness programs to thousands of visitors from over 100 countries annually. Originally a retreat for Indian royals and British colonists, Pune is now a modern city and home to universities and tech companies. The 40-acre resort campus accommodates some guests, with nearby hotels and apartments available. Programs are based on Osho's vision of a new conscious human who can participate in life and meditate. Programs include creative arts, holistic health, personal growth, esoteric sciences, recreation, relationships, and life transitions. Individual and group sessions, daily meditations, cafes, and restaurants with organic fare. The resort has a private supply of filtered water.